Paramaeshvaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Swami Samarth Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Gurudev Datta. Shri Trimbakeshwar Maharaj Ki Jai. Ganga Godavari Mata Ki Jai. Satguru Param Punya Moredada Ki Jai. Shri Swami Samarth Guru Mauli Ki Jai. Hello, welcome to Lesson 2. Today we'll practice some forward extensions. They will be very cooling for the mind, cooling for the body. The sequence that we'll do, you can either practice it all on its own as a practice. You can do it after the postures, the standing postures that we learned in Lesson 1. Or you could even alternate between some of these and some of those. So the first posture will be Adho Mukha Virasana, downward facing hero's pose. So take the toes together, the knees apart. Let the legs fold, let the weight settle onto the heels. And then keep the outer hip skin moving down. See, I'm doing that with my thumbs right now. As you come forward, bringing the hands forward, the arms straight, the hands stretched, spread about shoulder width apart. Stretch the sides of the body, open the armpits, stretch forward, and finally bring the head down. While you're in this posture, which is very good for back pain sometimes, as you're stretching the spine, but let the collarbones widen. Let the top shoulders, the back shoulders relax. Let the head relax. Just breathe and relax. And then to come up, walk the hands back and push yourself up gently. So, because of my tight groins, my hips, my buttocks were not down on my heels there. So if that's the case for you, you could take a strap or a belt or a rope and put it under the fronts of the ankles and bring it over the tops of the legs. And as you tighten it in the folds at the top of the legs, so that it can encourage that hip skin, that outer hip skin, to move down as I was doing with my thumbs last time. But now this time my buttocks should stay down on the heels better. So extend the trunk, but keep the buttocks moving back and down onto the heels. If you find that the body gets stuck, the buttocks want to come up, the chest wants to collapse, just stop, pause, breathe, and then continue into the posture, stretching the body. If the head doesn't reach the floor, you could put a blanket or a block underneath the forehead so that the head can rest into something.
And then to come up, walk the hands back. Bring the head up last. Come up gently, slowly. And next we'll do a posture that we did last week as part of the Surya Namaskars, which was an active practice, but here it'll be more passive, restful. We'll do Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. So spread those fingers, spread the palms, place the hands up at the front side of the mat there. Come over the hands, tuck the toes under, lift the hips, straighten the arms, straighten the legs. The feet about hip distance apart. For Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Let the head just hang down and relax here. In the last posture, in this posture, the abdomen should be lifting up towards the spine. The last posture, we went forward towards the hands. Here, you press into the hands and stretch back towards the buttocks, moving the upper thighs back towards the room behind you. And then bend the knees. Once again, bring the toes, come onto the tops of the feet, toes together, knees apart. Bring the buttocks down. Once again, Adho Mukha Virasana, downward facing hero's pose. Softening, widening the upper back, resting the head. And then walk the hands back to come up. And now let's stand up and do another posture that we did last week as part of the Surya Namaskar. We'll do Uttanasana, intense forward stretch. So you'll stand with the feet together in Tadasana. And once again, we want the thighs lifting up here into the abdominal cavity. You want the fold as you come forward. So again, I've got my thumbs into the tops of the legs to encourage the thighs to move up, to encourage the stomach to stay up, to keep this fold spacious as I come forward over the legs, letting the hands come down to the floor. The head release down, the back of the head release down towards the floor. If the hands don't reach the floor, you can have some blocks or anything, paint cans, books, so that you can get the hands down here. And then let the head relax. And then there's what's called the concave back version of these forward extensions. So with the hands down, extend the front ribs forward, lift the chest up, lift the buttocks behind you, extend the chin forward and up, making a concave back. Keeping the hands glued down to the surface below you, the blocks or the floor. So now if your hands are on blocks, now see
whether it's over a few seconds or a few months. Can you lower that height, keeping that open chest, not letting the chest collapse downwards? When the hands can reach to the floor, then you can bend the elbows, let the head come down. If you can keep the head down, you can walk the hands back next to the feet or behind the feet, straightening the arms for Uttanasana. And now the next posture is called Parsvottanasana, stretch of the sides of the body. So bend the knees, take a nice step back with the left foot, about 1 meter or so. Straighten the legs, same thing, but now the legs are divided. Stretch the body forward and let the head come down over that front leg. If that's too much of a stretch on the leg, again, we can use blocks. And it's good to practice these different movements no matter how flexible you think you are, because we learn. So work on that concave back. Extend the ribs forward, lift the chest, lift the chin, but if the throat gets too tense there from lifting the chin, let the chin be relaxed. Lengthen the back side of the neck, away from the shoulders. Again, like the last posture, lower the blocks over time. When you can remove the blocks, have the hands on the floor, then you can bend the elbows and bring the head down the front of that leg. Straighten the arms, lift the head, bend the knee to bring the back foot forward, and change sides. Taking the other foot back, straighten the leg. Do the two sides, the two legs, the same. So if you used blocks the first time, use blocks again. Even if you find that one side is more flexible, easier, Parsvottanasana. And then we'll finish off the postures today with what's called Viparita Karani. So this posture, you should do at the end of the practice. If you're very fatigued, this might be the only posture that you do. But you'll fold a sticky mat, have it up near a wall. You'll build up some height and have that height about a block distance, a few centimeters from the wall. So I'm going to use that bolster and 2 blankets. You'll sit on the edge of the height. Bring this buttock, the lower buttock, towards the wall as you come down onto your elbow. And then swing the legs up the wall. You might fall away from the wall at that point. So then
Put the hands like this, lift the buttocks, and push yourself back in towards the wall as much as you can. Straighten the legs up the wall. If you can have the backs of the legs on the wall, do that. You should feel the surfaces evenly. The legs should be straight, parallel, the feet spread. So we're doing Tadasana, which we learned last week. With the legs here, just they're up in the air against the wall. Make sure the chin, the back of the neck is lengthened from the shoulders so the chin can be towards the chest. Take the arms out wide and relax. This posture is very beneficial if you have fatigue in the lower body. You were on your feet all day working. You can do this for 15-20 minutes and you will drain all the lactic acid out of the legs, back into the system, and recover. And then to come out, bend the knees, put the feet against the wall, push back off of the height until the soles of the feet can be away from that wall. And then lie down, stretched out, flat in Shavasana. In all the postures we did today, the abdomen should come towards the spine. So in the last posture and in this posture, it just releases down towards the spine and softens and spreads from the middle out to the sides. In the forward extensions, the abdomen needs to lift into the spine. Completely relax here. When you're ready, bend the knees. Turn to the side, resting the head in the arm. And then come up gently. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshvara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Swami Samarth Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Gurudev Datta, Shri Trimbakeshwar Maharaj Ki Jai. Ganga Gora Vare Mata Ki Jai. Satguru Param Punya Moredada Ki Jai. Shri Swami Samarth Guru Mauli Ki Jai.